What are good focus interview questions within operations management? People need to look for employees with extensive experience and a proper understanding of all organizational roles in this ever-changing environment. One of the most important aspects of good business management is determining objectives and matching them to requirements and criteria as a director of operations. As a result, their enhanced growth ought to deal with maintenance issues and identify efficient solutions quickly. People should look for applicants ready to ramp up whenever a difficulty lies throughout the interview session. But first, if you are new here, consider subscribing to this channel to continue receiving great weekly videos on consulting. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get informed every time I publish a new video. Management teams are essential because they guarantee that all business processes run smoothly. One's role is to determine, supervise and organize daily operational activities to boost efficiency, production and results. Each organization has a unique survey method. However, after interviewing, specific individuals have conducted an extensive view. These below are some of the most prevalent issues that candidates encounter while in an interviewing process. When inappropriate questions are asked. Hiring managers are frequently predictable, which implies potential interviewees are commonly asked the same thing. It is particularly true for professional interviewers who often feel secure that much in their interview abilities. To blow this and ask the very same attempted questions once more and more. Candidate among discrepancy. It's simple to be unpredictable regarding overall strategy across various individuals if they don't have a better base for the interviews. Still, even if the business has, it is simple to be unpredictable even if one does. Separate days, various times of the day, or even the fact that users fought within your mate this afternoon before leaving your home. A variety of many other circumstances can influence the conversation and its conclusion. Prejudice. It is every questioner's tendency to permit some prejudice to slip in. Using preset questions or a rating scale is the most effective strategy to reduce discrimination. People find it challenging to look for similar goals and needs in many others. In addition, it implies that a recruiting process might transform the workplace into a community centre inside the creation if left unmanaged. It's vital to think about the prospective employer's questionnaire items as people prepare for an operations director job. Operational, contextual and questioning inquiries in general can assist them in determining overall suitability for the position. Questionnaires may pose behavioral challenges to obtain a good feeling about their function in such an operational, managerial position. Instead of posing imaginary situations, such interviews help them to see how they've applied their talents in history, in authentic cases. In addition, such inquiries provide the chance to demonstrate current experience and how they've conducted themselves in previous situations. Here are some common questions asked by most of the operation management supervisors. Review the critical responsibilities of a director of operations daily. Operations managers have the responsibility of overseeing activities related to the manufacturing of products and services. Their primary tasks involve managing the organizational structure, including design, management, administration, improved performance, and supply chain. The operations manager's primary responsibility is to ensure that proper processes and practices are followed throughout the organization. Trying to formulate plans, operational excellence, acquiring resources and materials, compliance requirements are some of the specialized responsibilities of a director of active managers. Management teams are an essential part of a company's top management, and their significant commitment is to ensure growth and revenue requirements are achieved. Which kind of logistic managerial experience do you have? Specialists in this sector, often called logisticians, build relations with suppliers, guarantee that almost all goods are available on schedule, interpret and respond to user requirements, and search for ways to lower the cost of transporting supplies and products. Logistics is an element of the supply chain system that organizes, executes, and manages overall optimal, profitable transportation and storage of goods, commodities, or associated data from the point of origin to customer's end to meet the consumer needs. Which strategy will you use unless the boss told you to submit a plan on manufacturing costs? The whole cost of creating an item, comprising raw resources and operational expenditures, is detailed inside a manufacturing cost statement. Manufacturing costs vary in the degree of specificity they offer. In essence, they usually provide a detailed analysis of all costs involved in creating products, and they typically end within a portion that calculates the comparable price per unit. Overall production costs are calculated using 3 significant means of transport: direct sequence, direct costs, and cash flow statement. Furthermore, improve the existing efficiency of the production unit and compute contribution margin for every production cost component and overall cost with each production cost component. Finally, for every production cost component, calculate the price per individual element. What role do support systems play in accomplishing company objectives? Please include some instances. To maintain their profit, applicants should place more effort and resources on all important business objectives. They were involved throughout the company's operations. An operating leader should allocate funds and energy following the goal specifications. It could take the shape of a new methods or required training, and more people hired to an action or process. Generally, there are 5 techniques to assist organizations in understanding their objectives. Review employee expectations on a routine basis. Provide a means to track personal progress. Provide opportunities for employees to advance their careers. Motivate staff that wish to move up the organization to open careers. Provide professional training to help staff in achieving their objectives. Just a few hard questions. Many workers are inflexible and persist in old processes. How can you get your employees to accept the best methods as just a director of operations? The operational manager is responsible for keeping company project teams on the schedule. Their staff members are the rock on which anyone can rely to feel accepted throughout their job. On the other hand, their applicant might join a group containing top personnel who has grown accustomed to a particular problem-solving approach and are resistant to transitioning to a more efficient way. They might be able to control current circumstances gracefully. Do you even have any contract negotiation knowledge with the outside vendors? The operational coach's responsibility is to ensure that all of the company's teams work smoothly like very healthy machinery. That applicant may be required to collaborate with advisory group external concerns based on the emphasis and objectives of the company. People must search for providers who have different time frames than the corporation's prioritized timetables, but can guarantee that supplies are carried out correctly. For example, if someone had operated inside an independent service capacity for the past 3 years and met with providers on a monthly level to keep that each order had an adequate time reserve factored in. This season, the potential employee is well behind talent acquisition and needs your help. How else would you tackle this issue as a director of operations in your deadline to reach? Because the technical staff is so important in assisting various company departments in completing their tasks efficiently, those certain groups could become overburdened and seek assistance from the operational manager. On the other hand, such demands could be in addition to the payment that the operating team is currently doing regularly. The individual's explanation will give them insight into how individuals work within time and budget restrictions. For example, they would first review each skill group's requirements and clarify the meaning of work referred to as operational management. Next, to complement the talent's team, they would deploy certain active workers with spare capacity to try to recruit. What is your process for detecting and addressing obstacles in your project as a director of operations? Many of the numerous endpoints must stream within the allocated budget limitations for operations to proceed correctly. In some instances, blockages might impede a firm's capacity to provide products on time, but it's up to their operational manager to figure out what is causing the issue. To improve its effectiveness, the candidates must have reasonable procedures for identifying and eliminating blockages. For instance, first they would gather information on how long it will take to execute each step of their procedure from beginning to end. Then they would figure out whether they are poor in specific areas and tweak our procedures to make them more efficient. Which plans do you have in place to guarantee that business operations are running better when you are unable to come into work? The operational manager is in charge of extensive company processes and should observe and monitor business operations. Workers must organize the job so that additional staff can come in and help whenever required. Influential organizational leaders use rational thinking to the pretty large of the organization and its working environment. That article focused on a student's responsibility, strategy and vision whenever it comes to the organization's ultimate peace and expansion. For example, someone needs to have a workspace arranged instead so that anybody could glance through one document and discover the data they're searching for effortlessly. They retain source documents for every agency's essential operational responsibilities, as well as a calendar of critical interview dates, new contracts and evaluation targets. If they know you are gone for a while, some also generate a document on proposed changes. Endnote. To make preparations for the core operational question and answers session, retain such things in mind so that the conversation does not reach the required phase after one organized and analyzed it. Firstly, concentrate on the management for a better understanding. Also understand the business requirement so that an individual is genuinely fit for the corporation. Last but not least, whenever answering questions to the management officer, give examples to legitimize your explanations. If you like the video, give us a like to make more videos like this one, and tell us in the comment section below what type of videos you want. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos.